Hey guys, I'm Sarah,
I'm Aisha.
and we're hard pressed.
We are hard pressed.
Tell me where that came from.
Hard pressed came from the Bible verse,
Which one?
Corinthians 4:8.
2 Corinthians 4:8.
2 Corinthians 4:8. Do you want to say it?
Yeah. We are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair. And that was something that I actually heard in church maybe a couple weeks ago, about a month ago maybe, and it just really spoke to me. It was kind of coming at, both of us, honestly, at a time in our life where we were coming out of some really difficult experiences, and it just really rang true. It was a really cool point of reflection for me.
Yeah.
Just thinking, wow, we really are hard pressed.
We've been through it.
We have been through
We've
it.
been done through it.
Yep.
I guess the purpose is more so to provide, I'd say relatable, maybe inspirational, like perspectives to somebody going through this phase of life that we are. Being in our late 20s, it's such a
Yeah, tell me,
awkward-
what's the phase?
We're both in really weird points of our life. This is the phase where the technical social standard is being married, house, kids, starting that chapter. And you've been through it.
Right. I'm actually ending that chapter.
You're ending that
Not
chapter,
ending
starting
the kid chapter,
a new one.
But
yes.
of course.
But I'm in a relationship, but not at that point in time. I envisioned to be married with kids in that house at 25. I'm closer to 30, but I'm not anywhere near that. Still renting, not married, not in the career like I envision myself to be. I'm in a good position in my life in terms of my career, but not the career I want forever. This is like a stepping stone to get to that career,
Right.
my current job.
What career do you want?
I want to be a therapist, but at the same time, I've been passionate about fitness all my life. Not all my life, that's a lie. For a very long time, and want to not necessarily be a fitness influencer, but want to provide just something that's not extra. So I feel like there's a swarm of social media that you just have to do too much to achieve something. And yes, it is a lot of work and dedication and discipline. But sometimes I'm like, you don't have to do all that. Let's keep it simple.
Right. And I feel like you really hit the nail on the head when you said everyone, all the social media influencers in the fitness world are all doing too much. And it actually made me think about the podcast world too. I think that it's two worlds that are very oversaturated right now, and people feel the need to do things for the sake of going viral or do things for the sake of getting more clicks. And I think that's kind of a great transition into what our goal is here, and that's to provide authentic conversation about really hard things in life that everyone experiences, to offer a welcoming conversation, an environment for listeners who are interested or going through the same thing, or maybe went through the same thing, or, know somebody who might be experiencing that, or they're just interested in our growth.
Yeah. The whole clicks, scrolls, I think that kind of adds to why we're doing this, is that we're more so looking for that one person who can really relate to what we have to say and maybe help them in their journey, where they are in their life. If more people get touched, great. But really it's just to provide
The best friend you never had.
Yeah. That's precious.
Yeah.
Okay, my question to you on the topic.
Okay.
Why are we so special with this oversaturated podcast time of our lives on social media?
So, first thing that comes to mind is we know that we're not. We know that we're not special. We're not trying to make ourselves seem like anything more than best friends who know each other really well and have experienced a lot of ups and downs through life and have really been able to lean on each other and grow because of that. I mean, we are special. You are special. Everyone is special.
In their own way.
But really, you're not. And I think that's the beauty of it.
And we're just kind of doing this for that, really for ourselves at the end of the day. I think this is, for me personally, this is putting myself out there in a way I've never done before.
I know, I'm so uncomfortable right now.
So, how did we become we?
So, without boring everyone, going
Sorry.
into detail of all the specifics that we think are interesting and nobody else does, we met in 9th grade in 2004.
Crowley, 9. The math ain't mathin'.
What?
You were in 9th grade in 2004?
I don't know.
You weren't, I'll tell you that.
No, I was not. 2009.
I was in Malawi in 2004.
Okay, yes.
Unless you thought of me, in 2004. You're waiting for me.
2004, I was in 4th grade.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 2009.
Bro, I just had a moment.
What?
You said in 2004 you were in 4th grade. I just realized we're literally...
Oh my gosh, you never realized that before?
I like that I didn't finish the sentence.
9th grade, it was 2009. 10th grade was 2010. That's just how it is with our birth year. And Aisha is just now coming to that realization. That's how I remember every single milestone throughout grade school.
But also, I had the British system, so it was standard. So standard 5 was 4th grade, and standard 6.
Oh.
So we had, it didn't align. And then there was Form 1, 2, and 3, which is like middle school.
What did bring you to America?
My dad's job.
Okay.
He was going to Afghanistan, and then
Okay.
obviously we couldn't go. And
Right.
he's from Virginia Beach,
Right.
so
Okay.
yeah.
It was meant to be. It was a friendship that was meant to be because after 9th grade, we ended up going to separate schools for the remainder of our
High school.
education.
Yeah. I guess you're not necessarily, were you born here? Or is it Michigan?
No, I was born
You were
here.
born here. I was born and raised Virginia Beach. Trying to think what else.
What do
as
we
much
do
of, like,
now?
exciting of a background that is I do.
I know.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, that brings us to now. Skipped a few parts in between.
Between now and then. 14
But
years
we'll
later.
get into that. Stick around,
Yes.
and you'll learn more about us.
Facts. Probably too much. Probably more than you ever wanted to know.
Yep, already.
Already.
We're
Click,
going
we're
on.
done.
Right. This is really boring. These girls think they're special. They just said they're not special. But they
they're
clearly
acting.
think they're special.
Done.
The last year for Aisha and I has been one of the most developmental, difficult years that we've ever been through together. And so I'll leave that there. We'll get into that more. What is one of the most valuable lessons that you have learned over the last year?
What's the most valuable thing I've learned over the last year?
Yep.
It is okay. It is going to be okay. There were so many times where, like, it just felt like it's not going to be okay.
Keep going.
Give it time. I had just got out of a really long-term relationship that I was with the same person for 6 years. And the relationship ended. I moved in with you. And that was the first time I'd been on my own. And, it's scary. I had built an entire life, and having to say goodbye to that for ultimately what was needed and what was for the best for me
Right.
at the time. But there were times where I did not think I could get through it. But reminding myself, well, not even when I was in it, I couldn't even remind myself. But looking
Right.
back, it is okay. Like, you are on your own timeline. There's going to be ups and downs, but it's going to be okay. it's going to be okay.
So you said in those moments where you were feeling low, you didn't know. What did you do in those moments? How did you cope? I'm sure there were times where you were pursuing growth and times where you were choosing to remain in that deep sadness.
Finding a therapist who I could grow with, who will show me those things that I needed to see. A lot of mindfulness, a lot of physical exercise, because that's my part of my therapy, journaling, and doing a lot of things that actually genuinely bring me joy. It's like reading, sometimes just listening to music, dancing in my apartment, sometimes watching trashy TV, putting a lot more emphasis of the things that bring me joy.
What kind of advice do you have for somebody who is searching for a therapist or who has yet to take the leap towards the therapy journey? The different mental roadblocks that they might be experiencing. What would you say to someone who is thinking about it and just hasn't?
If it's finances is the issue, then look through your insurance. If you don't have insurance, you can actually go through a resident therapist who they're practicing. They still have a supervisor, but I think because they can't charge insurance, so it'd be out of pocket, but it's about anywhere from $40 to $65 a session. Whereas if you don't have insurance and you go to a fully licensed, it's like anywhere from
Couple
150
hundred.
to 250
Right.
plus, depending on your specialty too. So finances, knowing whether you feel comfortable talking to a male versus a female. Also think about age. Also think about race, like things that you didn't think would matter, but you're going to
Right.
be your most vulnerable self and talking
Right.
about issues that some people won't understand. And even if you are talking to someone who is not able to understand, it's having a therapist who can acknowledge, I can't.
Does your therapist give you advice?
Mhm.
Okay. When I was in therapy, my therapist never really gave me advice. She was able to shift my thinking in a way that just made me question the situation, my reaction, how, for example, I was trying to make a big decision about sharing something really vulnerable, private, and just a very difficult conversation with my mom, someone who I'm typically very open with. And I was very afraid of her reaction, what it might be, and truthfully, I was trying to protect a lot of the people around me. And instead of saying, I really think you should tell your mom, she asked me questions like, what would it do for you if your mom knew the truth? And that was the question that changed it all, because I think it was the next day, I think I went and told her. And I felt this immense sense of relief, just this weight lifted off my shoulders. So it's interesting to hear the difference in approach between therapists.
No, she doesn't tell me what to do. So advice, I'd say similar situation with my dad. And because I had mentioned I wanted to do something.
Hello.
Oh, don't mind us.
You guys have to be.
No boys allowed.
What are you guys just talking about? We made a bet. What were you just
Our
talking
men just
about?
walked in the house.
We got 50-50 chance.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because we said it before you walked in.
Okay.
Okay. We were talking about therapy.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
it's
what about it?
parents.
Yeah, parents,
Way off.
and
That's what we were
more
talking
so
about right
sharing
now. Yeah.
what
Yeah, therapy.
the approach
Yeah,
that our
approach,
therapists
yeah.
take.
Okay.
Why?
What did you?
Which one still takes a therapist?
Both of us.
No, I don't go to therapy anymore.
Oh, big
What?
podcast.
Yeah.
This is the highlight reel.
Yeah.
Why?
I just stopped.
Why?
I didn't feel like it was something that I really
Bang.
needed to pursue
That's the Instagram.
actively.
Also,
Why?
so as the mysterious voice behind,
Mm-hmm.
you got shocked at no therapy. You're not as shocked, but like maybe not necessarily not.
Like breaking
Why
the
didn't
news.
you tell me?
I mean, it didn't even cross my mind, honestly.
Huh.
I just stopped and I didn't even really like
Did she
tell
give you?
anyone.
Like, did she say you shouldn't? Or did
We started cutting back on the amount of times I was going.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it became more stressful to try and get childcare every Saturday and take, 2 hours out of my day away from my daughter when I really felt like I had a lot of the tools.
Bye, cuties.
Whisper. I felt like I had tools, throughout my whole therapy journey. And keep in mind, to all of our listeners, I was going to therapy for about a year. And we got to a point where, she would say things like, I don't want to do every other week yet because I don't really feel like you have the tools that I want you to have at this point yet. And then we got to that point where she started showing me that she had some confidence in me. And the different exercises she and I were doing and things we were talking about, I was just able to, you know what it was? I had this moment when in therapy, she told me that I needed to start having the conversations that she and I had in the office. I needed to have those in my head every day in life. And there was a point in time where I didn't really know what that meant, didn't know what that looked like, and just couldn't really figure out, oh yeah, this is what she would say in this moment. And then it kind of clicked. And I really started to get to the point where I could rationalize without it being a toxic rationalization of my thoughts. Instead of me trying to disregard my emotions, I actually got to a point where I could decide this is a valid emotion. This is why I'm feeling this way. And this is what I need to do, whether it's communicating with somebody more clearly, accepting someone's reaction to something I'm saying, all the things, deciding, I'm in control of my reaction to a situation or a stressor. It was then that I felt that I really actually could leave with those tools. Yeah.
Interesting choice for your brand. I'm shocked.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally don't think anyone's ever done with therapy.
Oh, yeah.
I think I do bi-weekly still. I definitely think I'll be at a point where I can do monthly and then bi-monthly. But I think you just never stop learning about yourself.
Right.
And having someone to navigate, because we'll pick up new bad habits at any point in time.
Sure.
That you don't realize they're bad habits. Man, I'm excited that you're at that point where you're having these conversations regularly. But I definitely recommend you have at least monthly.
Like, you still need help, woman.
You're still crazy.
And I had such an amazing therapist. Oh my gosh.
We can
I
find-
got so lucky right off the bat. And she was killer.
Yeah.
It felt like she remembered my story, and it felt like it resonated with her in a way that she, would have reactions to things I would tell her that really validated my feelings. So the idea of starting over with another therapist is like, oh, heck no.
Yes. I get that.
All that to say, We're huge proponents of therapy.
Yes, yes.
Huge proponents of therapy.
It's a great way to learn about yourself. I don't think I learned a lot as much about myself until I was in therapy. And I'm still learning. I'm still developing a relationship with myself.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah,
Hopefully we didn't ramble too much.
we probably did.
We absolutely did. The exact words, reel it in, came across my head.
Yeah,
But we can clip those parts out.
yeah. You won't need to know or hear that.
We'll put it in the bloopers.
Got
Which
some
you guys
good ones.
probably will be just as disinterested in.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, we're here for it. We're just looking for that one.
Yeah, just one person.
Just one person.
And it's probably going to be my mom.
I was just about to say it's one of our mans. 'Cause they're
Definitely
forced
not
to.
mine.
I will be forced to do it. My man's is totally gonna be like, yay!
Number one
It's just a
supporter.
Sweet, yeah,
We love them.
yeah, the bestest. All right, well, thanks everyone. I'd say like, comment. Don't
Yeah.
want to comment. We appreciate it though.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where we cut.